Hi to everybody, I'm Pedro and I'm here for the second tutorial, second video about how to operate the Miles-NET real estate platform. We've just seen how to install the complete platform and we've made on my machine on localhost a domain just to do testing and all the videos. The domain is www.mywebsite.com. It could be any domain. So what we have installed is here working the way it is. About languages, we saw already there's 4 languages coming with the pack. So if you change to Italian, obviously everything becomes Italian language. The buttons, the menus, even the houses, all the descriptions, even the names you can translate. Every house can have a single name in each language. All the characteristics of the house and everything, even the footer, torna sopra. So this is multi-language, it's native multi-language platform. Today we will see how we can easily add up more languages or change words or sentences or whatever in one language that is already installed. So to do that, we have to do a login with our admin password. Logging into the back office, you've got a proper URL, which starts with the domain. So mywebsite.com, and all the platform, there's a single entrance pages for security issues. The page is index.php. It's very common in CodeIgniter, the framework we're using at the back office. And then we've got the switches, admin and user login. So this is the page for the admin user to do login on the system. Anyway, we can do it by this URL, or we can log in by the front office. If you notice, there's here a little guy, which is red, meaning you're not yet logged in. If you press the button, it's in Italian. Let's change this to English so it's a little bit better to understand. Okay. So if you press the button, you got the login link, and this is the page of the login to the system. It can either be login to the front office or to the back office. It depends on the username you choose. You also have here a place to create a new account. It can be an admin account, an agent account, or a visitor account, but by that we'll get it in another tutorial. As I told, we are going to have several tutorials about everything we can do on the Miles-NET real estate platform. So for the time being, we will be covering how to set up the language system. So we log into the back office. We've created a username and password, very simple to memorize, and here we are. So we've just entered the back office. At the back office, you can do a logout on its own menu, or if you go to the front office again, you can see the little man now is green, meaning the system knows you're logged, and depending on the account you're logged, the menu you've got under the login button is different. So this is typical of an administration login. So you can log out here, or you can log out at the back office here. So let's go to we keep this open so we can see the changes we are going to make on the languages pack. At the back office, you've got several things: dashboard, pages and menu, how to manage the real estate. For the time being, we are going to settings and languages. So we are on our place to talk about on this video. So as you can see on the back office, you've got 4 languages set up: English, Portuguese, Spanish, and Italian. With this mark, you can see English is default language, meaning that if somebody is coming to your website for the first time, it will have the language of English. You can set up any language as default, and minimum the system has to have 1 language, of course. So what we do, we'll try to first we'll try to change, do a new translation for a package that is already installed. So we can go here to Italian, for instance. As I told, everything is in Italian, and say, for instance, we go to a property, that one which is already Restaurant Pecci. Okay. So as you can see, the name of the property in Italian, this is the name, and if you go to Spanish, it's a different name, Restaurant Marisco. If you go to Portuguese, well, it's very similar to Spain, but it's another translation, but it's the same. And if you go to English, you got Restaurant Marisco. So uh, you can change anything, either in the system, at the back office, or at the front office, or even the contents you are feeding in on the properties. You can translate it to every language. So let's say here on description we want to get another word, for instance our description. So really it's a new translation, or we will translate in another words the word description. So we go to Miles-NET admin back office, and we choose English and we translate files. Here you can see all the files that that have the translation for each word. Mainly they are divided in front end or back end, and on the system, which is something you use either in front end or in back end, but that doesn't have to do necessarily with what you see. It's something which is within the system. Most of the translations will happen here on the front end template lang.php. You can access that by file manager and you can change it wherever you want, but through the back office you don't need to know any sort of language or any kind of system which is behind. You just click and you do the changing. So we go to the front end, and here it's all the words on the front end that have an English translation. It's quite big, so really to find description, we go here and we look for, description. I don't know why I didn't copy that. Okay, now it is. Okay, there you are. So description, this is the system word, is translated to English as description, obviously. So let's change this to our description. Okay, we save. That's it. This is saying changes are saved. So if you go to the front office and to any property, instead of seeing description, you see our description. This is as easy as it is to change any word in the complete Miles-NET real estate platform, front end, back end, or even within the system. So we get back again. Now we should find our description. That's it. And we put description again. Okay, we save it. And if we go here, you see description again. Okay, you can go to another property, for instance black glass house, and we'll see description again. Okay, so this is how easy in one language which is already set up, it's how easy it is to change any word on the system. So now let's add a new pack of languages. You go here, click on add language button. As you can see, there's already a lot of languages which are already translated. Not all of them are completely translated, but most of the words are. So you can, as we did now with English, you can get to any package and do the right translation, or the translation that best fits your needs in order to be exactly the way you want. So let's add another pack. To add another pack, you need to give a name. Let's say French. French is still not here. And you need the code for the language. That's very important because it's on this code that any application which communicates with the Miles-NET real estate platform. For instance, all the social networks, when you are going to share a post on Facebook or on Twitter or wherever, all the things that are written there, they are automatic translated. If you put the right code here at the language the user is seeing your front office. So it's very important to know which is the international code for the language you're doing a new package. You can choose it if it's default or not. As we have seen, the default language is English. So here we put French. The code is FM. Okay, default. Then it's important this is important if it's visible in menu or not. You should never delete a language. Say, for instance, you've got here this four language and you don't want Spanish to appear anymore. You don't want your users to see your content in Spanish. You could delete the package, but you must be aware that all the work that has been done translating all the keywords and even the little translations you have encountered and done it by yourself, they are going to be lost. So if you don't want people that come to your site and see Spanish as a possible language, the best thing you have to do is hide it from the menu. You should never delete a language pack. So you go to Spanish, you do edit, and you take the ticker off visible in menu. So you still have the four language. You can see there's a closed eye here, and if you go to the front office, you won't see Spanish anymore. So the user cannot choose the Spanish language, so the user will never see any Spanish word on the website. Let's put it back again. So edit, visible menu. So it's important for you before doing your properties and your users to set up the language pack so that you have the platform, the structure all ready for you to fill in with the words, and it's important for you to never delete a language pack. Okay, so we continue for the third time, sorry. This is not very well organized. So we are going to add French as a new language possibility. It's not default, it's visible in menu, and it is not RTL. RTL is great for the Arabic language, where you write from right to left and not, as in the West, from left to right. So this is French, it's left to right, not right to left, so we state it is. Okay, so we do save, and the system is going to prepare everything so that a new language will come out and can be seen either in front office, in back office, or at the system. What happens is that he's copying all the sentences, all the translations from the default pack, which is English, and then you have to go to the language and do a proper translation for the country you want to. So for instance, if you now go to the front end, you see there's another language, you see there's also French, and if you click French, what you see? You'll see everything in English. Because really what the system does is picking up the main language and copy all the files to the new language. So all we have to do now, as we did a few minutes ago with one field in the English language, is translating everything. So we can go to the front end, and for instance, that description thing we found, okay, we want to translate it in French. So what we can do is use Google to help us a little bit. It's quickly, you only have to click here, you delete the field, okay, you click here, and it's going to pick up description and do in French la description. Okay, so you copy and you put it there. Okay, so just to save, and you got your first translation in French. If you go to the back office, to the front office, sorry, you do refresh. You see French is still language, the choose language. And if you go to description, there you are. You've got la description. And so all you have to do now is pick up the um, all the words that are written on the website, front office, back office, and system, and do the proper translation. If you want, you can pick up the file. Well, really, it's the same because you have to read written down the new words. It's the same to be written on a file or here at the back office, but here it's much more easy and comprehensive to do it. Okay, so about language, that's pretty all. So you can come here, and because this is not translated, you just hide it. Sorry, just put it not visible in menu. Okay, now you start doing the translations, you do your homework, you ask for somebody, you get a team involved, you translate the files as quickly as possible. But while they are not translated, you have no problems because, I'm sorry, I need to go to the root. Okay, oops. Okay, you got the default language, and as you see, French is not appearing as an option. So you do your translation, you translate all the files, everything is ready. You just come here and you put it visible in menu. And that's it. That's the way you deal with languages back on Miles-NET real estate platform. That's all. I hope you have enjoyed. I hope I was a little bit helpful in helping you to quickly uh, configure and manage all the platform. There will be another tutorials. This is the second one. I hope you stay tuned and see you in next video. Thank you very much for your presence.